We're here at the Liacouras Center with my good buddy Gerry Sandusky from WBAL. Remember, folks, that's Gerry with the G. Gerry, nice to see you. How are you?
Great, buddy. Great to see you again.
Well, I saw that Rick Riley piece. It was a good job. Way to get your name out in a positive manner. Has that all helped a little bit? Do you still get those death threats and those crazy tweets?
Yeah, I get them just about every day. The Twitter feed never slows down with people who confuse me with a former Penn State coach. But eventually, I think people will kind of notice that. I spell my first name with a G. He spells his name with a J. No relation. That's my introduction now. When I meet people, I just say, Gerry with a G. No relation. They get it.
The most interesting thing to me is how you said you didn't want to change your name because it wouldn't be right to your father. How much did your father mean to you? And did you really just feel that, hey, you didn't want to do it because it wouldn't be right to him?
That's exactly why I wouldn't want to do it. I mean, my father left me with a good name, and I want to do the same for my kids. And just because life gets tough doesn't mean you fold your deck or you walk away. The easy thing to do would be to change my name. But if we learn anything from the Penn State situation, the easy thing in the short term is almost never the right thing for the long term.
Gerry's also the play-by-play man. I'm going with my good friend Kadri Ismail for the Baltimore Ravens. And you look at the Ravens, they just fired Cam Cameron. Do you think that was the right move? Was he kind of scapegoated a little bit?
You know, I don't know if it's about scapegoating. I think it's about needing a bold move at a time when the Ravens have their first losing streak in December under John Harbaugh with 3 tough games in front of them, knowing they have to win one, and the offense wasn't clicking on the road. It wasn't being consistent. So, you know, if you want to label the move as a scapegoat, I think that's oversimplifying it. It's a complicated situation. It's not one man's blame, and I think anybody who knows an NFL offense knows it's more than just the coordinator. But John Harbaugh needed to make a bold leadership move, and that's the one he selected, and I think it got a lot of people's attention. After all, we're talking about it, so you can imagine the buzz in the locker room.
Joe Flacco, he played in the AFC Conference Championship last year and outplayed Tom Brady. He's a 3-time Super Bowl champion, and if it wasn't for that drop ball by Lee Evans, which was an incredible play by Sterling Moore, and the missed kick by Billy Cundiff, the Ravens are going to the Super Bowl, and who knows, maybe they would have beat the New York Football Giants, who ended up winning the whole thing. Do you believe in Joe Flacco? Can he take this team to the next level, which many people expect him to?
Yeah, I think there's no doubt Joe Flacco has the tools, he has the skill, he's shown when he has the opportunity he can play, even if not better than the best guys in the league, future Hall of Famers. The key now for Joe Flacco is consistency. He's been inconsistent this year. He's been one guy at home, he's been a different guy on the road. Cam Cameron's gone, so he's going to have more on his plate in terms of preparation, more on his plate in terms of delivering in the game, more on his plate in terms of making adjustments on the game. If he can do all those things, marry that with his natural ability and his experience as a 5th-year quarterback in the NFL, there's no reason he can't become elite.
And on the defensive side of the ball, this team has dealt with a plethora of injuries this year to their 2 leaders in Ray Lewis and Terrell Suggs. They're going up against Peyton Manning this week. It doesn't get any bigger than this. What do they have to do to contain the future Hall of Famer?
I don't know that you can contain him, other than you have to get pressure up the middle. If you're going to do anything to Peyton Manning, you've got to get pass rush pressure up the middle. If you bring too much on the side, he'll see it, he'll get rid of the ball. The only thing that really works for Peyton Manning is taking away his ability to step into his throws. If you don't do that, it doesn't matter what else you do because nothing else will matter. He'll dissect you. So first and foremost, pressure up the middle. How you get that? You have to be careful not using too much blitz pressure because he'll pack that up. So I would say the key for the Ravens defensively, haloti nada, great penetration.
We're here at the Liacouras Center. Gerry Sandusky joins us. Temple going up against Towson. You look at this Towson team, you've seen them, you do the play-by-play for them. What are some positive things they bring to this court, and what are some things they have to improve on?
First thing you'll notice about this team is great defense, and it's not a wavering defense. They don't play one half good, one half bad. They play the second the ball starts on the tip to the very last second comes off the clock. It's the best defensive team I think I've seen from a CAA team at this level. Offensively, they're still finding themselves a little bit. The freshman point guard, Jerome Hairston, you'll notice is really great with the ball. Some of the bigger guys inside aren't used to such a talented point guard, and they need to work on their hands a little bit. So I would say consistent perimeter shooting is a problem. They've got a nice low post game, and if they bring that low post game, it'll be a great contrast tonight because Temple is so good beyond the arc, and Towson's better in the paint.
When you look at this Temple team, it starts with 2 players, the senior guys, and Scooty Randall and Khalif Wyatt. How do you think Towson fares up against those 2 guys tonight?
You know, I don't know that Towson has any one individuals that match up with the talent and the experience that those 2 guys bring to the game. And watching Temple in pregame shoot-around, they can flat shoot the ball. If they shoot at that level during the game, Towson will have some matchup problems, and that'll force Pat Scarry to do some creative things defensively. You're not going to match up on Scooty Randall one-on-one. You're going to have to do some things where you play team defense and try to deny him the ball because he's proven if he has has the ball and he's got an open shot, he's taking it. Usually he's making it.
Last one is we're talking to Gerry Sandusky. Fran Duffy has been in this area for a while. He said in his opening day press conference, this is the most depth team he's ever had. You have a lot of guys coming off the bench that have been able to put a positive spin on things for the Owls this year. Jake O'Brien from BU. You brought in Dalton Pepper as well. And you also see TJ DeLeo. He's the senior. The thing that has to scare you for Towson tonight is this Temple depth.
Yeah, there's no doubt. When you have depth, that means you can play at any tempo you want. You can't get fatigued, and you can keep things changing. You also can't get a beat on guys defensively. If you just rotate one or two guys in with your starting fives, you can start to get a real feel for them. But the fact that Temple goes 9 deep almost every game, and sometimes deeper than that, is going to create problems for Towson. So I think Towson has to come out early and wrestle the tempo away from Temple and force Temple to make the lineup changes and not the other way around, especially on Temple's home court.
Before we let you go, people just have to remember, please proofread your work and read on Twitter. There's a big difference between a G and a J, and for you that makes the whole difference.
It makes a gigantic difference because I'm not in jail, I haven't been convicted of anything, and I'm not even related to the guy who is, but for whatever reason, the G and the J still get people tangled up, so I'll just get used to living with it.
Thanks so much for the time. Make sure to smack my friend in the head, Kadri Ismail, next time you see him.
He's a former pro athlete. I don't know if I want to do that because he's still bigger and faster than me. I can't run away after I do that, but great seeing you, buddy.
You too.